Hiya, it's Graham here. Got myself off for another wild camp. Oh, does it make sense? I think it does. I think it does make sense. And I'm on the moors near Rothbury. I'm actually on the route of St Oswalds Way, one of Northumberland's newest long distance footpaths. Good 97 miles from Heavenfield on Hadrian's Wall to Lindisfarne. I'm not doing the whole thing, I'm just doing a few kilometres. We're going to camp at a strand of trees that we know along St Oswald's Way. And fascinating bloke, St Oswald. He wasn't just a saint, he was a king. He was one of the big lads in 7th century Northumberland. He united the kingdom and he laid the way for Christianity in Great Britain because he founded the monastery at Lindisfarne. So the Venerable Bede, he wrote about him after his death about 100 years later. He wrote really well about them, and most of the history we've got comes from Bede. So interesting fella, and someday I'll do St Oswald's Way. Take about 5 days or so, I reckon, but tonight just a quick overnighter. And I know I said I wasn't going to use the bivvy again after that really uncomfortable night on Simon's side about a month ago, but I've learnt my lesson. I've got a bivvy. It's the Alpkit hooked bivvy, and I brought a tarp as well. Tarp will go over the top. So we'll crack on. We'll get to where we're going to stay for the night. So Philo Cottage is quite the place. It belongs to the Scouts now, but I'm old enough to remember when it was just a ruin about this far off the ground. Something like Yearning Hall in the Coquet Valley. It was taken over by Blythe Scouts, can't remember now, 30 years ago, and they've done a grand job of it. It operates like a bit like a locked bothy now, but you can book it through the Scouts, and stayed there quite a few times. There's a Scout leader. My first time here as a Scout leader though, I made a bit of a tactical error, and I told the Scouts a made up scary story about ghosts and the Durgar and stuff, and some of them hadn't been away from home before, and it's quite a spooky place at night, and some of them were crying sideways tears, and it took a lot of calming down. They're all grown up now, but if you're watching this and you remember that, I'm really sorry. I've just walked on a little bit further and I'm looking for somewhere decent to camp. You can see people have camped here already. You can see old fire hearths. What's that over there? What is that? Is that an old sleeping bag? Ah man, it is. That's disgraceful. I'll get Nick to carry that out. Hang on, there's another sleeping bag over here. If you're the person who left them sleeping bags there, you muggy pup, tidy up after yourself in future. I'll get Sean and Nick to carry one out each in the morning. sun's setting now and there's a nice light coming over the stone wall and the trees behind her. And I've just set up my tarp in a modified plough point design. I've never done that before, so come and have a look and see what I've done. I've attached it to the tree, and there was loads of different instructionals on YouTube, and the easiest way seemed to be just put a bungee cord round, and just to take a little bit of pressure off the loop that's already on the tarp. I've just cut a bit of paracord there, tied it with a sheet bend, and used that to extend it a little bit. And it's given us absolutely masses of room inside, so I'll be well sheltered tonight, and there's not a breath of wind, and I think the forecast is for good weather. I've just pegged it out in a diamond pattern, and because it was saggy in the middle, it just gives a bit of extra height in the middle. I've just put a bit of paracord on there and attached it to a walking pole and pegged it out. And I guess if it does start absolutely hammer down, then I can lower the bungee on the tree and just adjust the pegs a little bit, make it a bit lower down. But I think that's a much better idea than sleeping out in an open bivvy on same inside. Got my favourite Soto Windmaster for a special treat tonight. So here's my complete setup under the tarp. I've got my Alpkit Elan hoops bivvy, I've got the Berghaus Pro Peak mat, and I've got my Phantom Flame mountain hardware sleeping bag, and I reckon I'm going to be properly cosy in here tonight. True to his name, Silky Nick's cut a bit of dry wood, so there's an already existing hearth here. I think it would be rude not to use it. Well done, Nick. Didn't think I was gonna go. So the last few minutes have been really tense. There's been a quad bike buzzing around the woodland we're in, and we don't want to get rumbled, so we put the fire out. We've just laid low, killed all the lights, and we're just waiting for it to go. I haven't heard anything for about 10 minutes now, and no footsteps, so I've been brave enough to put the red light on. And I think I can hear Silky Nick frying sausages. That's a good sign. It's been quiet for a while now, so I reckon we're good to make tea. Sean P's just made his, so I'm gonna have Lidl's best fillet steak. I'm gonna make some garlic mushrooms with it. I've got a cast iron pan, which, although it's tiny, probably weighs as much as the tarp itself, so we're not quite ultra light tonight. Just gonna rub the steak in a little bit of garlicky oil, and I'll season it as it cooks. Let's get the cast iron pan nice and hot. Hey Siri, countdown, 2 minutes please.
2 minutes starting now.
In the meantime, I'm going to chop some mushrooms to make, well, garlic mushrooms. Turn it down a little bit. Lidl's steak seasoning. I put an extra bit of salt and pepper in it. I might season it as it cooks. And I reckon that's just about done on one side now. That wasn't such a great idea. I reckon that's rare, medium rare. So I'm just going to rest it in the foil while I do some garlicky onions. I'll turn this down a bit. Yeah, garlicky onions even. Mushrooms. What the hell what am I talking about? I've gone food mad. It's got a lovely fresh bitter edge. I reckon that's done rare, and it's done perfectly. Man, that looks perfect. That is amazing. Is there anything finer than eating fillet steak cooked rare in a cast iron pan in the woods in the dark? Not many finer things in life than that. Maybe a romantic meal with your lovely partner, whoever that may be, but not much finer than this. And for pudding, what I'm going to have is Christmas pudding, and I'm going to eat it cold without any custard or cream. I'm going to eat it straight out of its little bowl, because that's the kind of monster I am.
Well, venison stew tonight, tin of mixed beans, carrot, couple of onions, chapped masala which I made myself, and I thought I would just try it. Bit of salt and pepper, bit of whiskey, water, and some mashed potato flakes. Wallop. One pot wonder. I think that chapped masala is coming out a bit now. Just cooked it over the open fire.
Sounds amazing, Nick. So Nick's brought an English whiskey to try. Let's have a look, Nick. It's a fine single malt English whiskey. Looks like it's from Norfolk, 43%. If it was from Northumberland, maybe better. But let's have a try. I'm getting sawdust, petrol, and sadness.
Got some water in it.
No, well, I've drank. I've had a sip now. It's okay. Well, Sean's just had a bit as well, and I agree with Sean. It could do with a bit more barrel time. How long's that been aged for? 6 weeks. We don't know. We don't know how long it was aged for.
It'd be minimum 5 years.
Yeah. It's not bad, but
No, some of them do it for 3.
is that all? We'll hang on for Northumberland whiskey. It's going to be producing in what, probably a couple of years, do we think?
Yeah,
2023.
We should start barreling in a couple of years. So, you know, 12 years time.
Yeah. Good attempt, Norfolk. Good attempt. Sean, do you have any words of wisdom?
From this trip, words of wisdom are Lidl's does bloody good steak, and saffron potatoes are never a bad idea.
Nick, do you have any words of wisdom?
Oh, well, the English whiskey's got a long way to go on the Scottish whiskey. Can't beat that.
There you have it. Words of wisdom from Sean P and Silky Nick. That'll be the fire, mate.
Need longer handles. Bear gloves.
There it goes. Oh mate, we've got popcorn.
Trying not to spit hot fat in your face.
That looks mint. Proper popcorn. Magic.
Ta-da! I think that's probably enough. Ooh.
Hi guys, it feels properly cosy underneath the plough point top and in the bag and in the Alpkit, so I think I'll sleep well tonight. There's been no insects, not a drop of wind or a breath of air, so I'm going to listen to a podcast and just drift off to sleep in the woods. Couldn't be better. What a great time. Morning folks. Really comfortable night last night. I like the plough point. It's good. Just the sounds of animals during the night. Pheasants, owls hooting, deer barking, a few twigs cracking in the trees and that. I think they're probably squirrels. But beautiful night. I just heard like a pitter patter of rain a few minutes ago as I was waking up. I'm hoping it was Sean making his lone sausage. I can't tell the difference between like the rain on the fly and someone making sausages. Time to get up. So this is where I was last night. As always, leave no trace apart from a flattened area on the ground. That's all I've left. Nick, how did you sleep last night?
Terrible. I kept hearing things around the hammock, you know, creeping around. I think, is that a rabbit? Is that somebody creeping around? I just couldn't get down. Very eerie last night.
Did you think somebody was creeping around?
Well, probably not. It'll be just animals, I'm sure.
I heard deer and deer barking, or I thought it was deer walking in the woods beside
Well, I did hear
a
that.
few branches.
I think that was an asthmatic sheep, that.
Cheers,
one,
Nick.
one for the lads, you know, one for the shepherds.
No. Yeah, some of them are dying. Yeah. As you can see, that's the view we've got. Really foggy, pretty miserable, but I've just had a great night's camp, so it's not going to bring my spirits down. David Lean here. Nick loves being a cameraman, I reckon. I reckon you should do a couple of videos, Nick. Hi guys, we're nearly back at the car now, and I just want to say thanks for watching the video, thanks for coming along. Really appreciate it. I've got a couple of hundred subscribers now, which I know it's not an awful lot, but I never expected that when I started, and I'm properly chuffed by that. So if you want to give us a subscribe or a like, it's all much appreciated. See you on the next one.